Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your hostess, femininity coach, and author of the Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So I've got one here where this lady says that healthy, happy women do not willingly choose to be single. Sounds like a lot of bitter, broken, unhealed, unhappy women. And I'm gonna let you play. I'm gonna play the video, but it's the comments. It's really the comments. The boneyard loves and hates being the boneyard at the same time. But I'm not gonna get into it before I play the video. So here we go.
Insurance and find out where you can find you a therapist, because that's what you need. I don't, it doesn't make sense to me. So y'all mean to tell me that a healthy, happy woman will willingly choose to spend the rest of her life by herself? Like, is that what we're saying? So being single by choice is very real, right? You can be in your single season. You can decide, like, I'm just, living my life, not ready for a relationship, not interested in a relationship, and that's okay. But there's one thing to say, that this is the choice that I'm making, that I want to spend the rest of my life by myself, no husband, no kids, no nothing, just me, myself, and I. I find it hard to believe. It sounds like a lot of bitter, broken, unhealed, unhappy women. And instead of joining all these movements, how about you join a therapy group? How about you hit up that number on the back of your insurance card if you have insurance, and find out where you can find you a therapist, because that's what you need. I don't, it doesn't make sense to me.
Now, you heard what the young lady said. And these comments, they're eating her alive. But if she was on here talking about some sprinkle talk, if she was on here talking about all the ways in which to keep you single as a black woman, they would be cheering it on. If she was out here talking about all the delusions, how Cheesecake Factory ain't enough, how she ain't gonna settle, how a man got to make $300,000 a week, and how if she was on here talking that foolishness that the boneyard deludes themselves with, they would be in the comment section cheering. But she's not. She even acknowledges the single season. She acknowledges the portion of a woman's life where she might actually want to not be in a relationship, because sometimes I'll put it like this. After my late husband passed away, I had to be in a place where there is no relationship. I could not have really truly entered into a relationship at that time. And it was years before I actually could. So, single, even though I wanted to be married, single was the best thing for me to do at that point, because there was a lot of healing. I needed to grieve it. I needed to refine who I was outside of a relationship, to refine my own identity, because you lose yourself in relationships, which is fine. It's just that you got to find yourself again, because this person is no longer in your life. This person that you took as a leader and things of that nature, not here anymore, and they're not coming back. So you have to find the directions that you need to be in and what you need to be doing personally. There's always some personal work to be done, because it's not fair to another person to enter into a relationship with them and you've got too many problems for them to deal with, because that presents problems in a relationship which otherwise may not have even existed. So I was not in any emotional or mental space to be trying to be a wife to nobody, or anything like that. A real relationship, I could not uphold my end of a real relationship, and I knew that. So therefore, since I knew that, It was like, don't entertain it. Like, my attempts at entertaining it during that time let me know I shouldn't have entertained even the thought of trying to marry somebody or anything like that, because I just wasn't ready. When I began to talk to a brother or something like that, it was like I couldn't even get my mind around it. So it's like, you know what? You have work to do. You have internal work to do. Before you can enter into marriage again, you have so much internal work that you need to do now. And it took me years to do it. It was not a quick boom, boom, couple of months. It wasn't even like that. So I get the portion, because I went through it, the portion of your life sometimes where you can't engage in a relationship. But that should not be forever. I had no intention of never getting married. I had no intention of never being a wife again. I had no intention of that. I just recognized that I needed that time, right? Because I wasn't going to be fit for a husband. I wasn't going to be fit for a husband, right? No matter how much I wanted to be married again, I wasn't ready for that anymore. And I had to prepare myself to get back into that role again where I could be effective, right? So she acknowledges that sometimes a portion in a woman's life where she got to regroup. That's a better word for it. I had to regroup. You see what I'm saying? I had to fall back and regroup. And sometimes you got to fall back and regroup so that you can be better. But it's so that you can be better fit in a relationship. What she's talking about is the ones that don't have that intent, right? She's talking about the women who call themselves enjoying being alone and by themselves forever, and that they don't have any relationships at all, which we know that women, that's a lie, that they don't want to do that, because even if they're not married, they still be having dudes coming through in and out, whether it's frequently or infrequently. They're not going without sex. They're not going without male attention of some sort. They're not going without this stuff. The only thing that they're doing without is the commitment, because they're too chaotic to commit. They're too chaotic to submit themselves into any type of structured relationship. So they rather be out here just freestyling. You see what I'm saying? Talking about they living their best life. And all of the women be capping about that, because it gets to a point where it's not fun. Because we don't like that. Ultimately, the feeling of being just used and the feeling of just not having no value to nobody, just men just want to have sex with you and it's cool for a minute, and then they slowly fade out. And because the relationship isn't anything, it's not built on anything, it doesn't mean anything. You know what I'm saying? Women start searching for the value of the relationship. Women start searching for a relationship that means something. They want to mean something to the man, not just be screwed by him, but they want to mean something to him. They want the man to like love them or care for them and things of that nature. That's what she's speaking to. The comments, though, there's a lot of broken, bitter, unhappy women in relationships too. The delusion, if you've never experienced being happy and single, just say that. Not having a man doesn't mean you're alone. There's friends and family. The friends and family aren't with you in the bed at night. And the gaslighting for this all over the internet, it is actually sickening. So I really dislike needy women who feel like they have to be with a man to be whole. Girl, just like every woman don't want kids, every woman don't want commitment, and that's okay. Y'all got to stop this team married versus single, team kids versus no kids, team men versus women. As long as you are happy, it's nobody's business what you're doing. That's nobody's business. Her opinion doesn't matter. I'm happy and single, not bitter. All these ninjas not going nowhere. Focus on self-love. Please enlighten us. Women that are in a relationship are unhappy, unhealed, bitter, emotionally unstable, broken, emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually. Leave us happy, single, alone. We know what we want, and we want what we won't settle for. Please take several seats respectfully. I mean, I've never seen a woman die from being single. Unlike a lot of these relationships where women are deleted in all in the name of having a man. It's okay to be single. You can be happy and single. You can be single and happy. And the girl sounds like you don't know yourself and you're not comfortable being alone and you need validation from someone else. By it's almost where you can't even really articulate how stupid this stuff is. It's almost like you can't really even articulate the ignorance that you read and that you hear in these instances. Because what are you even talking about? It, like I said in the beginning of this, if she was on here talking about how much a man got to make and how much he got to do for her and that sprinkle ridiculous talk, they would be in the comment section talking about some, yes, you know, girl, he better do this and he better do that, and I know my worth, and da 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 da. But when a woman comes along with some sense and says, and she's not lying about women getting to points where it's like you can't do the single thing no more. Women get tired. Women get tired. We get tired of working. We get tired of paying stuff. We be getting tired. The time that I spent single, I was tired. Do you understand? Do you understand the many days I was like, you know what? Do I really need to get up and go to work? How urgently does this rent need to be paid? And I was tired. I was tired of not being covered. I was tired of simple stuff. Like, okay, you know what I'm saying? When I was living in Chicago, the thing that really got me one day was we had a blizzard. This had to be in like 2019 or something. And we had a blizzard, right? And it was bad. And it was like 18 inches of snow or something like that. And you know who had to dig my car out of the snow? Me. Okay? Me. And I didn't like that. You know why I didn't like that? Because it wasn't even that I had to dig it. It's that I had to dig it by myself. There was nobody I could call. My husband wasn't upstairs. Okay? There wasn't no man that I could call and be like, oh, you know, baby, come help me dig the car out. No, I had to get out there with a shovel and do it myself. It took a long time to do that. My sister eventually got up and she was like, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? And she came downstairs with another shovel and like helped me. And then you know what happened? Like 2 weeks later, it snowed again. Real heavy, like a foot. I had to dig my car out again. When everything fall on you as a woman and you don't have no backup, you don't have no person that's going through nothing with you to help. And women do think about this stuff, all of them, hyenas, everybody. And they get on here and cap and act like they don't never have a care in the world and that there's nothing that a man could ever truly do that they couldn't do. And it's so much lies. And then because they don't like it, because it irritates and chafes them so badly when a woman that seemed like she got sense says something, oh, now you need to mind your business. You don't go tell Sprinkle that her opinion don't matter and she need to mind her business. Anyway, jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your hostess, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.